In a small town on Earth called Willow Creek, life was simple. The sun always shone brightly, and children played outside while adults tended to their gardens or went to work. However, everything changed one peaceful evening. A blinding light filled the sky, and just as quickly as it appeared, it vanished, leaving a strange metallic figure on the town's main square. The figure was an alien named Zorith, tall and slender, with shimmering skin that reflected every color. Zorith looked both fascinating and frightening. The townspeople gathered around, whispering and gasping. Among them was a curious boy named Jake. At 12 years old, Jake had always dreamed of adventures and aliens. He couldn't take his eyes off the extraterrestrial being as it stepped forward. "Do not be afraid," Zorith spoke, its voice echoing softly. "I have come with an urgent message for humanity." The people stood in shock. They had heard stories about aliens, but never thought they would meet one. Zorith continued, "My name is Zorith from the planet Alicia. I have traveled across galaxies to warn you." A brave woman named Mrs. Harper stepped forward. "What do you want from us?" "Why are you here?" she asked, her voice steady despite her fear. Zorith hesitated for a moment, then replied, "I am here to warn you about a great danger. The actions of your kind threaten the peace of the universe." Jake, wide-eyed, took a step forward. "What do you mean? How are we a danger?" Zorith looked around at the crowd, then pointed to the sky. "The universe is vast, and many beings inhabit it. Some are hostile and see your technology as a threat. They believe that if they eliminate humanity, they will control the universe." The townspeople murmured among themselves. They were scared but also curious about this warning. Mrs. Harper chimed in again. "What can we do to stop this? How can we prevent it?" Zorith placed a hand on his heart. "You must change your ways. Your violence, pollution, and neglect for each other create waves that travel through space. These waves attract hostile beings. If humanity continues down this path, they will come for you." Jake's mind raced. "But we are not all bad. Some of us want to help the world and each other." Zorith nodded. "I know. There are many good souls among you. That is why I came, to show you that it is not too late. You can unite and work toward peace." "I have a plan," Jake suddenly exclaimed. Everyone turned to him. "What if we show Zorith our world? We can demonstrate our kindness and willingness to change. It could prove that we are worth saving." Zorith's eyes sparkled with hope. "That is a wonderful idea. Young one, let me see the best of humanity. Show me your love, your cooperation, and your spirit." With that, the people of Willow Creek rallied together to organize an event like never before. They decided to host a festival showcasing kindness and compassion. Everyone was invited to bring food, art, music, and stories that represented the best of their community. Jake took it upon himself to gather everyone's contributions and ideas. Days turned into weeks, and the festival day arrived. Colorful banners decorated the town square, and laughter filled the air as families set up booths. Zorith observed everything, showing appreciation and wonder. Jake introduced Zorith to various townspeople. They shared their stories, passions, and dreams. Mrs. Harper baked cookies for everyone, reminding them of the sweetness of kindness. Mr. Thompson showed Zorith how to paint, creating a mural that represented unity and hope. Everyone worked together, creating a beautiful atmosphere. As the sun set, Zorith stood on the stage, ready to speak. The townspeople had gathered in anticipation, their hearts beating with hope. "You have shown me the beauty of humanity today. Your laughter, your kindness, and your art shine brightly. This is the essence of what you must protect." Jake beamed with pride as he listened to Zorith's words. "But there is still danger. The beings who wish to harm you will not take this lightly. You must remain vigilant and continue to spread your light." A heavy silence followed. The realization of the threat hung in the air, but hope was kindled within each person. Zorith continued, "You must work together, not just today, but every day. Protect the environment, show kindness to one another, and build bridges beyond your town. Only then can you create a ripple of change across the universe." The crowd erupted in applause, their spirits lifted. They felt a new sense of purpose. They were not just a small town. They were part of something much bigger. In the weeks that followed, Willow Creek underwent a transformation. The people became more active in their community, organizing cleanup drives, helping one another, and spreading acts of kindness. News of the festival and their efforts spread to neighboring towns and cities, inspiring them to join in. But the threat was still lurking. One night, Jake spotted strange lights in the sky. He raced to his family and friends, pointing toward the glowing figures approaching. Zorth appeared beside him, its expression serious. "They have come as I feared. You must stand together now." As the alien ships descended, the people of Willow Creek banded together, facing the threat with courage. They held hands, forming a circle of unity. In that moment, their compassion and willingness to change radiated outward, creating a shield of light that surrounded the town. The hostile aliens were taken aback, not expecting such a response. Instead of violence, they saw a community united in love. Zortha's teachings had created a powerful force of positivity, and invaders hesitated. Moments passed, and then the glow of Zorth grew brighter. "You have shown strength. The universe recognizes your spirit." As if sensing their unity, the hostile ships began to retreat, respecting the power of love over hatred. Victorious and relieved, the townspeople cheered. Zorth smiled at Jake and the others. "You have proven that humanity can rise above its flaws. Remember this day. You are not alone in the universe, and together you can protect your world." From that day forward, Willow Creek became a symbol of hope and unity. Other towns followed their example, spreading kindness and cooperation. Zorth returned to Alicia, but not without leaving a part of itself behind. A reminder that even in a vast universe, the heart of humanity can shine the brightest. And so, the story of the alien warning spread across galaxies, inspiring others to believe in the power of love and hope. Humanity realized that its fate was not just its own, but tied to the greater tapestry of life throughout the cosmos. They chose to protect it, ensuring a brighter future for all. The old lighthouse keeper, Silas, squinted at the churning sea. He'd seen a lot in his 80 years, but nothing like the object hanging in the sky. It was vast, silent, and undeniably alien. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through Silas's weather heart. Then the beam came, a focused light, not blinding but intense, landing directly in front of the lighthouse. When the light faded, a figure stood there, tall, slender, with skin like polished obsidian and eyes that glowed with inner light. An alien, Silas, despite his fear, stood his ground. "Who are you? What do you want?" he croaked, his voice raspy from years of sea air and disuse. The alien tilted its head, a gesture that somehow seemed both curious and sad. A voice, clear as crystal, echoed in Silas's mind. "I am Xyler. I come with a warning." He learned that Xyler's race, the KRYLO, were watchers, observers of developing civilizations. They had seen humanity's potential, its capacity for both great good and unimaginable destruction. "You stand at a precipice, human," Xyler said, its voice resonating with sorrow that transcended words. "Your wars, your pollution, your relentless pursuit of power, it is leading you to oblivion." Silas, a simple man who found solace in the rhythm of the sea, felt a pang of shame. He knew Xyler spoke the truth. The world was changing, and not for the better. "We've tried to warn you," Silas replied, his voice gaining strength. "Scientists, activists, but nobody listens. The powerful, they only care about themselves." Xyler nodded. "We have observed this, but your internal warnings are not enough. The KRYLO Council has decreed, if humanity destroys itself, it will not be allowed to take other civilizations with it." The alien paused, and Silas felt a chill crawl down his spine. "If you initiate a global war, if you render your planet uninhabitable, we will intervene." "Intervene how?" Silas asked, fear gripping him again. "We will neutralize the threat," Xyler said, its voice devoid of emotion. "We will dismantle your war machines, cleanse your pollutants. But we will also limit your potential. Your technological advancements will be curtailed. Your expansion into the stars will be forbidden." Silas understood. Humanity would be neutered, its wings clipped before it could fly too close to the sun. "But why not help us?" Silas pleaded. Why not guide us? Show us a better way. Xyler's eyes dimmed. We are observers, not saviors. We have interfered before with other civilizations. The results were catastrophic. We cannot risk repeating those mistakes. The alien turned to leave, but Silas stopped him. Wait, there must be something we can do, some way to change things. Xyler looked at him, a flicker of hope in its ancient eyes. There is always hope, human, but the choice is yours. You must choose to change. You must choose to live. And then Xyler was gone, leaving Silas alone with the weight of the galaxy on his shoulders. Silas knew he couldn't keep this to himself. He grabbed his old radio, the one he used to listen to weather reports, and sent out a message, a desperate plea for help. He didn't know if anyone would hear him, but he had to try. His message was garbled, distorted by the old equipment and the atmospheric interference. But it was heard. Dr. Eris Thorne, an astrophysicist ostracized for his theories about extraterrestrial life, was monitoring radio waves from his small, cluttered observatory in the Arizona desert. He recognized a signal, a faint cry for help emanating from a remote lighthouse in Maine. Intrigued, Eris cleaned up the signal, deciphering Silas's frantic words about an alien warning and impending doom. Most would dismiss it as the ramblings of an old man, but Eris felt a thrill of excitement and a deep sense of foreboding. He contacted his former colleague, Dr. Lena Hansen, a brilliant but disillusioned political scientist. Lena had spent years studying the patterns of human conflict and had grown cynical about the possibility of lasting peace. Lena, I know you're not going to believe this, Eris said, his voice crackling over the phone line, but I think I found something big. He told her about Silas's message and Xyler's warning. Lena was skeptical, but Eris's urgency convinced her to listen. Even if it's true, Lena said, what can we do? The world is on a collision course with disaster. Nobody's going to listen to us. We have to try, Eris insisted. We have to warn people, show them what's at stake. Together, Eris and Lena embarked on a mission to spread Silas's message. They faced ridicule, disbelief, and outright hostility. The media dismissed them as cranks. The politicians ignored them, and the public remained largely apathetic. But they persevered, driven by a desperate hope and the knowledge that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders. They started a blog, gave interviews, and organized small rallies. Slowly, a small but growing number of people began to listen. A young activist named Maya joined their cause, bringing her energy and organizational skills to the table. She helped them reach a wider audience, using social media to spread their message and connect with like-minded individuals around the world. They called their movement the KRYLL Initiative, a reminder of the alien warning and the urgent need for change. The movement grew, attracting scientists, artists, teachers, and ordinary citizens who were tired of the status quo. They organized protests against war and pollution, advocated for sustainable development, and promoted education and understanding. They faced opposition from powerful corporations and governments, but they refused to be silenced. The world began to change, slowly but surely. People started to question the old ways, to demand a better future. The powerful could no longer ignore the growing chorus of voices calling for peace and sustainability. The threat of global war receded, replaced by a fragile but growing sense of cooperation. Nations began to work together to solve the planet's problems, sharing resources and technology. The environment started to heal, the air and water becoming cleaner. Silas, watching from his lighthouse, felt a surge of hope. He had played his part, sending out the warning that had sparked a global awakening. One day, the familiar beam of light reappeared in front of the lighthouse. Xyler stood there, its obsidian skin gleaming in the twilight. You have shown promise, humans, Xyler said, its voice resonating with a hint of approval. You have chosen a different path. We still have a long way to go, Silas said, but we're trying. Xyler nodded. The KRYLL Council has decided to withhold judgment. We will continue to observe. The alien paused, and Silas felt a sense of anticipation. You have earned a chance to prove that humanity is worthy of its place in the galaxy. And then Xyler was gone, leaving Silas alone with the sound of the waves crashing against the shore. The future was uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, Silas felt a sense of hope. Humanity had been given a second chance, and it was up to them to make the most of it. The consequences of failure were too terrible to contemplate. In the year 2150, Earth had become a bustling hub of technology and advanced civilization. However, with great power came great responsibility. Governments and leaders across the world were divided, some believing humanity was ready to colonize other planets, while others cautioned against it, foreseeing danger lurking in the stars. In a small town in California, a brilliant scientist named Dr. Emily Carter was deeply concerned about the path humanity was taking. Emily was not only smart, but also compassionate. Her best friend, Alex, often joined her in debates about whether humans should reach out to species beyond Earth. One night, while gazing at the stars, Emily shared her feelings with Alex. What if we anger an alien species? We don't know how they might react. We could trigger a war. Alex laughed. Oh, come on, Emily. We've come so far. We shouldn't fear what we don't understand. But the universe was listening, and soon they would learn the importance of that fear. A month later, during a late-night lab session, Emily received a strange signal on her computer. It was a deep, vibrating hum, unlike anything she had encountered before. She quickly recorded it and ran it through her translation software. The words that appeared were shocking. Aliens have arrived. Come to the old observatory. Quickly, she called Alex. You won't believe this. We need to go to the observatory right now. Even though Alex was tired, he saw the urgency in her eyes and agreed. When they arrived at the old observatory, a strange sight awaited them. A tall, slender figure with sparkling skin and wide, luminous eyes stood in the center of the room. It had an elegance that seemed otherworldly. Emily and Alex froze for a moment, lost in awe. Do not be afraid, the being said, its voice echoing in their minds. I am Zorith, a protector of the galaxy. I come on behalf of the collective. Why us? Asked Emily, her heart racing. You are humans who seek understanding, but I have a warning. Your kind is on the brink of destruction. The collective has observed your ambitions. If you pursue violence against other species, you will be met with wrath. Who will we harm? Alex questioned, his curiosity strong. Zorith waved a slender finger, and images flickered in the air around them. Scenes unfolded showing other planets where warlike humans had taken over, leaving destruction in their wake. Your kind is too ambitious. You forget the consequences of your actions. Emily felt her heart sink. We just want to explore. We want to know if we are alone in the universe. It was true. Humanity sought to travel the cosmos and perhaps conquer new worlds. Yet, as they gazed at the images, the reality of their actions filled them with dread. They were like children in a dangerous game, unaware of the rules. Zora continued. You must learn to coexist. The universe thrives on harmony, not chaos. We are offering you a choice. Change your ways or face the consequences. Your actions will determine your fate. What do you mean by consequences? Alex asked, bewildered. The punishment will not come from us, but from the universe itself. Your technology may protect you now, but there are forces in the galaxy that will not hesitate to eliminate a threat. Emily took a step forward. What do we need to do? We cannot lose everything we've worked for. Zortha's glowing eyes softened. Educate your people. Build coalitions with other species. Approach the unknown with respect and curiosity, rather than fear and greed. Alex nodded, feeling a surge of determination. We can do this, Emily. Together, we can spread the message. But Zorith raised a finger, cautioning them. Time is fleeting. You have one Earth year to prove your worth. After that, the tides of fate will turn against you. With those words, Zorith began to fade, leaving behind a gentle hum. Emily and Alex stood in silence, absorbing what they had just learned. The next day, they began to take action. They organized meetings at universities, sharing the warning with students, scientists, and leaders. Emily created a presentation highlighting the dangers of unchecked ambition and the beauty of coexistence. People listened, but some were skeptical. Fear-mongering, they called it. In the month that followed, Emily and Alex faced numerous obstacles, including people who dismissed or mocked their endeavors. But they pressed on, never wavering in their determination. As the Earth year drew to a close, they received unexpected help from a few government officials who believed in their message. Together, they established the Galactic Alliance, a coalition created to foster peace between Earth and other planetary species. While the Alliance worked on reaching out to others, Emily and Alex spent time improving Earth's understanding of the universe. They created educational programs, inviting speakers from various fields to discuss peace, respect, and exploration. But not everyone was on board. A rogue faction of humanity emerged, determined to dominate and control any extraterrestrial life. They were preparing for war, rejecting the warnings that Emily and Alex had fought so hard to spread. As tensions rose, Zorth returned for a final warning. You have ignored the wisdom I shared. The forces you face are now closer than you think. On the brink of chaos, Emily and Alex race against time. We cannot let this happen. Alex insisted, organizing a last-minute summit between the Galactic Alliance and Earth's leaders. On the day of the summit, they faced fierce opposition. Tempers flared and arguments erupted. But just as the atmosphere began to boil over, Zorth made a sudden appearance, floating above the assembly. Enough! Zorth's voice resonated throughout the room. You are at a crossroads. Choose harmony or choose conflict, but know that your choice will echo across the galaxy. The sight of the alien left the crowd speechless. They felt the weight of the moment. In that silence, Emily stepped forward. We cannot let fear lead us to destruction. We must work together. The future is ours if we choose peace. Slowly, voices of agreement began to rise. The discussion shifted towards understanding and cooperation. The rogue faction was eventually subdued, and the message of unity prevailed. In the end, humanity took Zorth's warning to heart. They had a chance to reshape their future, no longer driven by greed and ambition, but by wisdom and respect. They learned that the universe was too vast, too rich with life, to lie in conflict. Dr. Emily Carter and Alex became beacons of hope as humanity stepped into a new era of peace. With Zorth watching over them from the stars, they embraced the possibilities that lay ahead, ready to coexist with the universe rather than conquer it.